I take the reputation of this committee personally. So we will not be verbose, we will not be redundant, nor pleonastic. That's the word of the day, should you want to look that up. I intend on having a new word of the day for quite a few weeks here until we all completely and totally understand how proud we are of being compact, concise, and succinct. With that, other announcements. We have a joint meeting tomorrow morning, 7:30. We'll probably be in the room next door here, 112, since we'll be joined with our fellow members from the Senate. And on Monday, the 23rd, we will be having the sunset reviews on a few issues. You should have that package, and if you don't, see Mr. Robb. You might, if you have time over the weekend, just preview those quickly. So that's for Monday. All right, we're hearing two bills today, House Bill 1068 and House Bill 1078. So is Representative McKinley here? Representative McKinley, welcome back to local government.
Well, thank you.
If we can't have you one way, we'll get you another.
Brings great work to the soul of my heart.
Representative McKinley, please tell us about House Bill 1068.
It's a very good bill. We have some witnesses lined up, and if you'd like to get into that, I'll
That's fine. Mr. Robb will get the witness list here.
Oh, we just passed it to you. It's going to you.
Working in
There are some witnesses that can do a very fine job of telling you about this bill.
Representative Lee, did you want to be a witness
And it doesn't
on
look
this
like
bill?
there's any opposition.
I thought about it, I decided not to.
Okay. It would be unusual, but I guess we're always breaking new ground here in local government. So, we'll go in the order they signed up. Joe Shefflin?
Madam Chairman, I'm here to testify on House Bill 1078.
This is the wrong sheet. Who has the sheet for 1068? Are you sure you don't have something nice to say about it?
I'm sorry, I don't know anything about it.
They signed up on it. We have two witnesses.
We'll start with Chris Piper. Chris Piper with Colorado Water Congress.
I think that's on a different bill also. It's not this.
We'll get there.
Okay.
How about Lucille Corsentino?
Right here you go. Come on up.
All right, come on down.
I thought that was
We've got a winner
strange.
here.
The Department of Health would be on my side.
Lucille, looks like you've driven up here today from Pueblo. We appreciate you taking the time out to do that. And I understand you're with another nonprofit cemetery.
Yes, Roselawn Cemetery in Pueblo.
All right, so Lucille, introduce yourself to the committee and then proceed with your comments about House Bill 1068.
My name is Lucille Corsentino, and I am the organizer of Concerned Citizens for Roselawn Cemetery. Our organization came to be because our cemetery gradually deteriorated over a 4 to 5, 6 year period. I speak from both sides of the coin, folks, because not only am I a lot owner with a lot of concerns about the deterioration, etc., but also I was an employee of Roselawn in the year 2002, and I can assure you, in 2002, it was an exemplary condition, as it had been since 1891. We are proud to say that our cemetery is over 100 years old. Many prominent people are buried there. And I just want to remind you folks, before we get too far into this, that Benjamin Franklin, one of our founding fathers of our great country, said that one can tell the morals of a culture by the way they treat their dead. And what has happened at Roselawn is actually morally wrong. Lack of watering, lack of ground maintenance, lack of gopher control. I wish you could see what some of the graves look like. It is an abomination. I've had phone calls from young mothers where they've gone to the graves and they can actually see into the graves because of the gopher infestation. Is that right? Is that fair to people that have paid into an endowment care fund? As you folks know, your legislators, 15% of every price of a grave goes into an endowment care fund. 10% of a niche in a mausoleum goes into an endowment care fund. Those funds are never to be touched. That money is to be invested, and the return on that investment is to care for the grounds. Our red flag went up when we discovered that their endowment care fund had diminished. The amount of the diminishing in the funds is astonishing. From a confidential source, we have discovered that in 2004, the balance at year end in the endowment care fund was $1,248,000. At year end 2010, it was down to $452,000. If my figures serve me right, that's approximately $800,000 in a 6-year period. Our second main concern, investing as far as funds diminishing in the Roselawn Cemetery Association, is that they also have a pre-need cemetery trust fund. We don't know where these funds are on deposit. We haven't done any investigation yet. That is our next step. These funds are set aside for people that pay in advance for opening and closing, vault and grave liners, and final date lettering. We don't know what the balance in this account is. We don't know where these funds are held, and we don't know if they just diminished, but we need to find these things out. Does this bill need to be passed? Absolutely. If this is going on in Pueblo, it is most likely going on in other nonprofit cemeteries throughout our state, folks. The other thing I want to mention to you is that Roselawn Cemetery owns 231 shares of Bessemer Irrigating Ditch Company stock. They irrigate and have under cultivation 131 acres. They have more than ample water. However, they have been watering Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Is that ridiculous or what? We obtained the year-end stats for 2010 from Bessemer Ditch. What they do is they do an evaluation. They do some sort of a formula, which I can't even begin to tell you how they do it. But they tell you with so many acre feet coming down the ditch and the facility uses X number of shares, this is how much water they could have used over this period of 1 year. Are you ready for this? In the year 2010, the stats state 4 foot, 2 inches of water could have flowed over that 131 acres. They could have grown rice. I wish you could see our cemetery. Dry as a bone. Why? We have many, many questions. Many questions. We have gone to and asked for a list of the board of the directors. They told us it was none of our business. We asked for a copy of their bylaws. They are a nonprofit. We are entitled to that copy of their bylaws. They told us they didn't have to give them to us because they are a private nonprofit corporation. We've asked to attend board meetings. Board meetings were closed as of October 2009 when I asked to appear before the board. And they will let no one appear before that board. Why? These are all in violation of Colorado state statutes. So I come before you and I say, please read the bill. Please give it your consideration. Please help us. This is morally wrong what has happened in our community. Morally wrong. And we need to find out and we need to get it corrected. And I leave you with my final words from Benjamin Franklin. One can judge the morals of a culture by the way they treat their dead. Thank you.
Thank you for being here today, and that certainly sheds light on the bill. And you're satisfied and convinced that by virtue of including at least one director who owns a lot, it will substantively change the way citizens are able to interact with these boards? That would certainly be our hope. Because see, right now we're shut out. I mean, they won't even talk to us. You know, I was an employee there. I had a rapport with these people. Why would they not allow me to go to a board meeting? Why would they not allow me to appear before their board? I have gone to their office and sat down and talked to their ground supervisor and given him recommendations and suggestions, as have other prominent farmers in our community. We have one prominent farmer, he's probably the most well-known farmer on the Mesa, went to them and said, let me help you set up an eradication program to get rid of these gophers. They told him they didn't need his help. How could that be?